Let us move on to our next speaker. The next speaker, people who are there in this Toastmasters fraternity could see his face possibly every time in the posters that has been there in all the D120 groups. Is one of the passionate Toastmaster and a person who really steps in to support each and every club, both clubs in his own area or the clubs or the divisions that is where actually is one of the passionate and the most supporting Toastmaster, I would say, is none other than Toastmaster Sai Chandar. Before calling upon Toastmaster Sai Chandar, let me call upon his evaluator, the distinguished Toastmaster Rakesh Menon, to read out the speech objectives of Toastmaster Sai Chandar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaresh. Toastmaster Sai is giving his L2P2 speech from the Path Motivational Strategies. The purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Sai to learn about different communication styles and identify his primary style. The purpose of the speech is also for Toastmaster Sai to share the impact of his style on others. All the best, Toastmaster Sai. Back to you, Toastmaster Jaresh.
I request Toastmaster Sai Chandar to step forward. Toastmaster Sai Chandar, words unchecked. Words unchecked, Toastmaster Sai Chandar.
It's words unchecked, learning the impact. Words unchecked, learning the impact.
Okay, sorry.
Before I begin, am I audible and visible clearly? Thank you.
Yes, you are.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's do a rapid fire exercise. I would say a communication medium. I would name a communication medium like an email, WhatsApp, chat, in-person meeting, or whatever. If you're comfortable with that communication medium, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not comfortable, give me a thumbs down. Are we all game for it? Let's start. Email. WhatsApp. Chat. Okay. Calls. In-person chats. In-person meetings. Okay. More responses for in-person meetings, because after COVID, we are yearning for in-person connections. So these are all the medium, these are all the media of communication, different methods of communication. But more than choosing a method of communication, it's important to understand a style of communication according to the situation. There are different styles of communication like assertive, authoritative, analytical, supportive, direct, and whatnot. The list goes on. When I took the psychometric test in the Pathways manual pertaining to this project, the top scoring communication style, to my utter surprise, was direct communication style. I was like astonished after seeing the results, how Toastmasters could accurately judge my communication style. There had been numerous instances of direct communication style in my life, both in Toastmasters as well as in my personal and professional life as well. So how many of you receive calls from banks asking for loans, credit cards, or overdraft benefits? Almost every one of us, right? Of course, we are all working professionals and we are bound to receive such calls. And I too am the victim of such calls. Initially, I used to speak with them very rudely. I used to get irritated by those calls and I used to speak with them rudely, saying that I don't need any loans. How many times will you call me? When a customer says that he or she doesn't want a loan or a credit card or overdraft benefits, will you not update it in your database? How many times will you disturb a customer? I used to get 20 to 30 calls a day. Is this the right way? I used to talk to them so rudely and on their face. After that, after a few days, I started blocking their numbers as soon as I receive a call and hear the voice on the other side that, "Sir, we are from HDFC Bank." Nowadays, I changed the style. Nowadays, when I started when I receive a call and the moment the voice from the other side says that, sir, I am from HDFC Bank, I would immediately interrupt and say, is this call for loans? Is this call for credit cards? Is this a call for overdraft benefits? What is this call for? They would say, yes, sir, this call is for personal loan. I would say, okay, I don't require a personal loan. You may disconnect the call. This is the extent of my direct communication style. I have observed this style of communication even in Toastmasters. I was serving as the VP for my club in the last term, that is from July 2023 to December 2023. There was a member who used to take up roles but frequently drop out from her roles. She did consistently for 5 times. And for the 6th time, the reason that she quoted for 5 times was a personal emergency, health issues, which were acceptable. But for the 6th time, the reason she quoted made me pissed off. She opted for a speech slot, and the reason she quoted was, hey, Sai, I feel I'm not confident about giving my speech. I'm unprepared. My mentor told me to postpone the slot to some other week. I literally got pissed off. The meeting was on Sunday, and this lady is coming to me on Friday and saying that I'm unprepared. I dropped a voice message after the meeting on Sunday saying that this is not right. Please put yourself in my shoes and imagine how difficult it would be to find a backup for you if you drop off at the last minute. And from next time, if you are dropping off, please find me a backup, or you do the role come what may. I'm not bothered about your emergencies, or I'm not bothered about anything. She got offended by the message, but she didn't outwardly express it at that moment. She apologized me saying that, no, this won't happen from next time. At the end of my VP term, I asked feedback from everybody. How was my performance as the VP? And when this lady's turn came, she politely told that, SI, your approach might weed away all the time passes from the club, but it can also accidentally hurt the well-meaning people of the club, and it can accidentally make them go away from the club. So I realized my mistake. And from then I started adapting my approach to different styles of communication according to the situation. But still, in my personal life, I'm not able to come out of my direct communication style. I have numerous incidents to share, but in the 7 minutes, I cannot share all the incidents. It would take 7 hours or even 7 days to share those incidents. Direct communication style has done more harm to me than good. We often underestimate the power of words. We just think that they're just mere words coming out of our mouth, but we seldom think about the impact that those words create on the sufferer of those words. So I would recommend you all to think twice, thrice, or even 100 times before you speak, and hope I will also be able to come out of my direct communication style completely and adapt different kinds of communication styles according to the situation, and hope I'd be coming up with a different speech altogether and demonstrating a different communication style altogether in my next pathway. With this, cheers, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sai Chandar. Of course, wonderful speech that we could really understand the style, the communication style. See, as
Menon to read out the evaluation report for DTM Sadismenan speech. Sorry, Toastmaster Sai Chandar speech on topic under pathway motivational strategies.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Sai, that is a very powerful speech that you delivered, particularly about communication styles. And you brilliantly demonstrated what are the plus and minus in a style that we think it's good for us and we adapt it. The way you started asking some questions and asking us to, either thumbs up or thumbs down, uh, all these were carried out in a brilliant way. I know it's difficult in an online meeting, but you managed it beautifully. What is your comfortable communication medium? Like, is it email or WhatsApp or in-person chat and things like that? We as Toastmasters were able to relate to everything that you were asking and explaining. And after that, you also went on to the normal communication that we have with people who call from banks, which are predominantly irritating. The best thing that I liked in your entire speech was the voice, the vocal variety that you used, that kind of monoact kind of thing, the different voice variation, trying to talk like a call center executive and our response in an angry, aggressive tone and things like that. So everything was something which I think was very relatable. So overall, in your entire speech, the plus were the relatability, the vocal variety, the way you narrated things. You are a good storyteller. I should agree on that. And the humor, which was sprinkled all across the speech. And again, another area where you were able to reinforce this is sharing your experience as a VPE, where one member dropped out repeatedly, and you use the word consistent there in an on a negative aspect. Normally, we use the word consistency on a positive aspect, but again, I saw humor there. So overall, you were able to really connect with whatever you are trying to put across. If I may suggest some recommendations for you to become an even better speaker, here goes my suggestions. When you were sitting and delivering, like how me and you are all sitting, we have very restricted area for us to express. Your hand gestures were limited to just this area. If you would have stood and delivered, probably you have your own restrictions using that earphone and things like that. But still, this speech had a lot of areas for you to express better through appropriate body language and hand gestures. It would have been even brilliant. And here and there, I felt you were repeating few sentences and few words. So everybody would expect a person to give a flawless speech without any mistakes or fumbling whenever we see them speaking. So if you had, tried to avoid those, it would have been even better. Among everything that you did well, this thing slightly stood out as a sore thumb. So if you can focus on these two, I think people would love to hear you speak more and more. And I agree that 7 minutes to talk on your enormous experience is not enough, but definitely I hope we will get a version 2.0 like you came out with, like towards the end of your speech. And we can hear more on, are you sticking on to your direct communicative style or did you change it for your own good? Overall, it was a wonderful speech. Your plus were your humor, the way you narrated, vocal variety, and relatability. The suggestions are to stand and deliver and avoid fumbles. All the best. Good luck.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh Menon. Thanks for sharing the meticulous report on Toastmaster Sai Chandar's speech. Let me invite tag team to read out their report. Toastmaster Janastri,